This is a series of 100 films about Japanese places I've been, and this is a film about a bubble-era architectural experiment. Minato Mirai is a district in Yokohama City, Kanagawa Prefecture, in the Kanto region, the area around Tokyo, on the island of Honshu in eastern Japan. It's serviced by the Minato Mirai Line. The first time I went here was my first 2 weeks in Japan. I had no idea when I moved to Tokyo that Yokohama was only 20 minutes away. At least until the first time I traveled aboard the Tokaido Line. That's the major train line that goes to Japan's second largest city. There are dozens of other lines as well. It's basically Tokyo's biggest suburb. It's 3.5 million people, and it's on Tokyo Bay. The north part, close to Kawasaki and Haneda Airport, is non-stop industry. Oil refineries, factories that build boats, etc. Just south of there is the center of urban Yokohama, nicely developed along the harbor. Further south takes you along the north side of the Miura Peninsula. Affluent residential neighborhoods cover the hillsides, while more factories line the shore, which seems like a valuable waste of real estate until you begin to understand the tsunami risk. Hitori Day. After that, you get to Yokosuka, the city with the old Japanese naval base. It's now an American naval base where a nuclear aircraft carrier, the USS Ronald Reagan, is stationed. And it's always useful to know someone in the Navy because they can get you American over-the-counter cold medication, which happens to be much stronger than Japanese brands. And the most inland part of the coast, which also is the center of town, is where you'll find Yokohama's skyscraper town, called Minato Mirai, which translates as future port. The centerpiece is the landmark tower, Japan's tallest building till 2014, when a skyscraper in Osaka eclipsed it by 4 meters. And like the buildings around it, the landmark tower has an 80s science fiction feel to it. Hitori Day. The buildings are adorned with colorful lights crafted in unusual shapes, and the neighborhood feels like a postmodern matte painting from an old Star Trek movie. Right on Tokyo Bay, Minato Mirai has a giant Ferris wheel that lights up at night. And in these buildings are several shopping malls and lots of restaurants with harbor views. Some of the towers are condominium buildings, what Japanese refer to as mansions, quote unquote. Not a giant house, but a concrete condo building. Minato Mirai can feel a bit windswept and cold in the winter months. Several of the lots are not developed 30 years after the Japanese real estate bubble, but it's definitely worth traveling around just to see the architecture, to see Japan's vision of the future, circa 1989. How do I get there? If you're new to Japan, you'll probably want to start in Tokyo, the largest city in the world. From Shinjuku, take the Shonan-Shinjuku Line to Yokohama Station. Transfer to the Minato Mirai Line. Take that train to Minato Mirai Station. The trip takes about 27 minutes. As always, remember that this information may be out of date by the time you're watching this. The word of the day. The word of the day is Hitori Day. It means alone in Japanese. Useful when restaurant staff ask you how many people are with you. So if you want to remember this word, feel free to watch this video 10 more times and repeat along with me, or at least that's what I do. Next time. So that's it until next time we visit the best place to experience Japanese interior design. So until then, sayonara.